In the heart of City 17 looms a structure both awe-inspiring and foreboding, the Citadel. Rising ominously against the skyline, its towering presence casts a shadow over the oppressed populace below. Today, we will venture into the depths of this mysterious fortress, uncovering its secrets, unraveling its history, and exploring the profound role it plays in the bleak universe of the Half-Life series. Shrouded within a dense fog, it's time to delve into the mystery of the Citadel. Situated in the center of City 17, the Citadel is a massive megastructure built by the Combine that functions as the Combine's military forces' main base of operations and headquarters from which they rule the planet. The Citadel is also home to Dr. Wallace Breen's office, Earth's designated administrator, or should I say, dictatorial puppet. The tower menacingly sits over the city as a perpetual reminder of the Combine's tyranny, and it is unquestionably the most conspicuous emblem of their authority. The Citadel bears a striking resemblance to a massive metallic skyscraper, rising to a height of thousands of feet. The actual predicted height for the Citadel is 2.6 kilometers or 8,500 feet, and this is over 3 times as tall as the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. It is a fortification that rises far into the sky and stretches far below the surface, making it a genuine monolith. This can even be compared to the Bayonets Memorial in Zelenograd, Russia, and the monument at the Aberystwyth University in Wales. It's crazy how similar the designs are. From above, the structure appears as a triangle, topped by a dark fusion reactor, whose connected portal serves as the main line of communication for Combine forces operating off-world, as well as it serves as power for the Combine's tunneling entanglement teleportation system. Try saying that 3 times over. And this allows the Combine to tunnel through into other universes. However, this teleportation system only allowed the Combine to travel to other universes and not within the same universe. Unlike humanity, more specifically Aperture Science and as witnessed around the Black Mesa incident, who developed intra-universal teleportation, which I'll speak more about later. The Citadel also contains sections of the huge interior level that could move to allow for the bulk deployment of airborne Combine units like city scanners, hunter choppers, and Combine gunships. The building itself is heavily mechanized and can house an army of Overwatch soldiers. Massive smart barriers encircle the Citadel entirely, shielding it from potential assailants trying to break the walls.
We need to build a wall.
Large pieces of machinery are also affixed to the outer walls of the Citadel, situated inside a massive gap encircled by damaged vehicles and broken sewer lines. The purpose of the machinery is to excavate, potentially increasing the underground area to facilitate future building. There's also a suggestion that these machines act as enormous restrictors, keeping antlines at bay. Although, this theory is doubtful, because the vibrations would not be able to reach every part of the metropolis. The devices are also referred to in the game files as diggers, rather than thumpers. There are 2 recognized states, or configurations for the Citadel, that the structure adopts based on particular circumstances. The first of them is the dormant configuration, which was probably kept that way throughout the most part of the Combine's rule, because there were no significant threats. What characterized this design was a part of the huge interior level that could move, which was a single pair of visible like rib structures located in the rightmost half of the Citadel. But soon after Dr. Kleiner's teleporter malfunctions and moves Gordon Freeman into Breen's office within the Citadel, Breen activates the Citadel, putting the building in an alerted state. This is a unique occurrence, according to Barney Calhoun, who says, I quote, "Never seen it lit up like that." When the reconfiguration is finished, as it is seen at the beginning of the chapter Root Canal, the inner plating retracts upwards to reveal 4 sets of ribs that characterize the alert arrangement. A loud alarm that comes from the Citadel itself is audible across the city during this transition, and scanners which monitor the residents of City 17 can be seen quickly deploying from the middle of the building to look for Freeman. For the duration of the game, the Citadel stays in this position. It doesn't alter until Episode 1, when Freeman sabotages the reactor and the plating descends once more to an all-clear condition, covering the ribs. These 2 configurations are the only ones shown in the games, while it's possible the Citadel can assume various configurations depending on the circumstances. When the Combine transported the Citadel to Earth, whole blocks from City 17 disappeared, according to the book Raising the Bar, which was a book written to showcase the development of Half-Life and other Source games. But there are no indications of such an occurrence in the actual game. This was probably altered during development. Half-Life Alyx reveals the Citadel is being created, proving that the Combine was responsible for building it following the 7-Hour War. Relying on a sketch found in Alex's flat, the entire architecture was built around the Citadel's core, which was transported to Earth as a solitary spire, approximately equal in height to the full Citadel. This core acts like the dark fusion reactor as a huge radioactive power source, but little is known about it. The existence of more Citadels, located around the world, is mentioned in-game by Dr. Kleiner, and is also mentioned by Eli in the final hours of Half-Life Alyx. The number of Citadels on Earth still remains unknown, as do whether they all bear the same height and general appearance. Could be that there were more than one, maybe same size or bigger, but they didn't have the portaling technology that would allow accessing other worlds, judging by the fact that this one played such a huge role. So while City 17 was one of the central nexus and main higher command access points, the others could still play some type of role as a resource collection and industry center or major military bases. Dr. Kleiner says the following in his broadcast during episode 1. The destructive pulse forced a damper on the entire network of linked Citadel reactors. Thus, for the time being, I believe that all Combine portals have failed completely, as well as all communication systems based on that technology. As well as if you rewatch the Citadel destruction scene, which I'll show you now, you'll notice that the rift above the Citadel was there before and after the destruction, so it must have had something to do with the process of becoming a super portal. Since all Combine portals fail, they couldn't recreate that rift and turn it into a super portal again, so blowing up other Citadels wouldn't do any good. I have two theories for this. It could be that all Citadels are the same and need to be linked in order to create portals, and the loss of one Citadel will disrupt the entire network, but could be repaired. Or City 17 Citadel was the center of the network and the source of Combine portals on Earth, so its loss will be permanently irreparable. I'm more keen on this theory because in the game they only blow up the City 17 Citadel, so that must have meant that blowing up the other Citadels wouldn't do any more good for them or be any more advantageous to them as they already destroyed the Combine super portal. And even if the network were repaired, the Resistance satellite network would block all Combine portals, which is why they need the Borealis. Remember, I'd get back to this? Aperture Science owned a research ship named Borealis, housing an unknown technology. It disappeared, took a chunk of its dry dock with it, and soon became a legend amongst the scientific community. Debate raged between Eli Vance and Isaac Kleiner over whether the technology should be destroyed or used. Kleiner said he felt the power could be used to destroy the Combine, but Eli fears of another Black Mesa incident and objects to this. Aperture Science and Black Mesa were bitter rivals, as seen in the portal maps Test Chamber 15 and Escape 2. Aperture Science employees were briefed on Black Mesa through slideshow presentations, such as one titled Dollars and Cents, competing with Black Mesa for DoD and government-wide acquisition contracts, apparently made in the 90s given its style. The slideshow gives some statistics pertaining to Black Mesa, a graphic comparing the GSA schedules for both Black Mesa and Aperture Science, showing that Black Mesa did not ask much and received more or less the same, while Aperture asked for a lot and received much less than Black Mesa. It compares what Aperture and Black Mesa have to submit to the Defense Logistics Agency for developing a fuel system icing inhibitor and the role of GLaDOS in that task. These slides show how much they were directly competing for government funding, and Isaac Kleiner also theorized that the Borealis disaster may have been caused by Aperture Science's rush for such funding. And where am I getting with this? I think Borealis contains technology to create portals, very unpredictable technology, which seems pretty obvious since Aperture Science is the whole basis around the game Portal. But it makes sense, since the Combine were always looking for means for intra-universal teleportation, so that even if their Citadel or Citadels went down, they were able to use portals. This is just my theory, and the question still remains, what is inside the Borealis, and why does it look like a ship? What do you think? Perhaps the super teleporter is the Borealis. Perhaps that's a topic for one theory video someday. Now let's talk about the story of destruction of the Citadel in the Half-Life universe. About 15 years after the 7-Hour War, or 5 years before the events of Half-Life 2, the Citadel was still under construction during Half-Life Alyx. This implies that the construction of the Citadel started rather late in the Combine occupation, or perhaps it took several years to complete. An alternative theory is that the Combine was unable to begin building securely until the portal storms had stopped. The aftermath of Gordon's attack on the Citadel is seen in Episode 1. Gordon needs to get to the core in order to re-engage the containment field and postpone the core's impending meltdown because the dark fusion reactor overloaded, cutting off power and causing structural instability throughout the entire building. By now, all of the Combine soldiers were being pulled out of City 17, leaving just a small contingent to impede the evacuation effort spearheaded by the Resistance. Consequently, compared to its previous state, the Citadel is hardly inhabited. The interior of the Citadel now glows orange instead of the icy blue it was when it was in working order, with rubble constantly showering down from the top of the tower and bridges collapsing. A bright red space-time anomaly, probably from the last connection to the overworld, which is the Combine's home world, rises above the summit of the Citadel, which has been torn off by the explosion. It is surrounded by swirling clouds of crimson and black dotted with green lightning bolts. There are no longer any electrical lines that link City 17 to the Citadel. Gordon and Alex witness the culmination of Episode 1 when the Citadel's core experiences the unavoidable meltdown, while gathering the enormous amount of energy required to send a final distress call off-world to the rest of the Combine. This massive dark energy flare causes the entire Citadel to collapse, along with the neighboring City 17. Even in its devastation, the Citadel still rules over the now-destroyed City 17 in Half-Life 2 Episode 2. High up in the clouds, a blue tornado-like vortex is formed by the raw discharge of the core's meltdown that is now concentrated into a super portal, overlooking the Citadel's former location. The super portal is steadily becoming stronger, until it is big enough to fully open the portal between worlds and let the Combine re-invade. When the super portal is neutralized at the end of the game, all that's left of the once tall and formidable Citadel are its crumbling remnants. The rise and fall of the Citadel reflect the perpetual struggle between power and resistance, reminding us that even the most formidable structures can crumble in the face of determined opposition. As we bid farewell to this iconic fortress, we are left with a profound understanding of significance in shaping the fate of City 17 and the Half-Life universe as a whole. Thank you for watching. Your support means the world to me. If you found my journey through the Citadel intriguing and informative, I'd love for you to subscribe, and by subscribing, you'll stay updated on future explorations, discussions, and analysis within the Half-Life universe and beyond. Additionally, hitting the like button helps us gauge your interest and ensures that more viewers like you can discover and enjoy my content. Thank you for being part of our community, and we look forward to bringing you to more captivating content in the future. Mr. Stawiki, out.